Hello everyone, Spider back in with our Marvel content channel. Today we're going over a buff concept I made for the Punisher, which was requested by a commenter. And as always, these are purely fan-made, are not real, etc. official. I think I didn't read that in order. This was just for fun. And something I'm going to start doing for these buff concept videos is goals for the champion. So, what kind of champion do I want this to be? What kind of things that I have in mind when making him? And for Punisher, that is to make him a strong bleed attacker who has some defensive prowess with his projectiles. I want him to be able to tank hits, like how he can, how he does in the comics. And also, he is rewarded for punishing because, he is the Punisher, punishing. It's kind of what he does, so I feel like it'd be cool to bake that into his kit a bit. So for Always Active, Frank's military background and obsessive nature renders his mind and body free from reverse controls and ability accuracy reduction. Medium attack. Also, by the way, for some of these, I imagine his animations would be tweaked a bit. His mediums and his basic combos probably need to be tweaked a bit to fit this. Same thing with his special too, but we'll get into that when we get there. Frank uses his shotgun to blast the opponent and does not make contact with the opponent and inflicts a bleed debuff on the opponent for X seconds, dealing X damage. If the opponent is suffering from an arm break, inflict the opponent with 3 deep bleeds instead. Deep bleeds deal X damage over X seconds, like a normal bleed, but they also increase the potency of future bleeds by X%. This can trigger through block. So this is going to be really integral to really ramping up the bleed damage, but we'll get into that once we get to special attacks. While attacking, Frank reduces damaging effect potency by -7% when attacking the opponent, because when Frank's in the zone, when he's locked in, when he's doing his thing, I don't even think Frank's home. Like, he doesn't know that he's taking damage. So I thought I'd make him a little bit more useful, gain a little bit more willpower healing from like some of the hits he's going to be taking. So it can make him a bit more tanky. It gives him a little bit of utility. So thought that'd be really cool. Now when punishing the opponent's heavy or special attacks inflicts them with a bleed debuff dealing X damage over X seconds. Punching hits can extend to combos and special attacks, and strikers can continue the punching hits to the next combo, as well as each hit inflicting bleeds. And also, if the opponent is a villain, he inflicts 2 bleeds on all punching hits. So if it's a villain if the villain can bleed, he is going to have a blast. Also for the heavy attack. So this is also going to be really crucial for his rotation. Frank is passively unstoppable, and if he is struck while holding a heavy, he reduces the incoming damage by 95% and immediately launches it and gains a relentless passive for X seconds. Relentless makes special attacks super unblockable, which ignores the ability to auto-block or to block unblockable hits. Opponents also can't evade it. So this is a new ability that I have, super unblockable. Basically, like it says, if you can auto-block, or I keep saying auto-block, if you can block unblockable, you basically can't do that anymore. He treats all blocks the same. All special attacks. If Relentless is active, gain +X attack rating and reduce incoming damage by 100%, extends to 0.5 seconds after the special attack ends. So this makes it so, if he's suffering from debuffs, he can freely throw his special attacks without fear of dying mid-special attack. Because he doesn't drop till his clip is empty, I guess. And I also decided to make it extend to 0.5 seconds after, so he won't take recoil damage. So he's going to be super recoil friendly. He can reduce damage from damaging debuffs when attacking, so he gets that willpower healing, and he doesn't take recoil damage, so he is super recoil friendly. And for the special one, each hit inflicts a bleed debuff. These can trigger through block. If Relentless is active, gain +X bleed debuff potency. And now here's special 2. I mentioned that, the animation will need to get changed a bit. So Frank lobs a grenade at the opponent and blasts them 3 times with his shotgun. The first hit inflicts an armor break debuff for X seconds, and the following shotgun blast inflicts 3 bleeds each hit. If Relentless is active, gain unstoppable buff for X seconds. Unstoppable is paused during special attacks and renders Punisher immune to damage. Now thinking about that, maybe reduce, instead of being immune to damage, maybe have it be like 90-80%. But the goal is, he reduces damage by a lot when he's unstoppable. And while you're unstoppable, plus they have the armor break, you just freely use your mediums, which if we go back to what the mediums do, that's how you really stack on your deep bleed effects. And yeah, with a bunch of deep bleeds on the opponent, you could just go for some punishing combos, stack up tons and tons of bleeds, which get their potency increased by a ton. So their health, opponent's health are just going to go bam, 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 bam if they can bleed. And for the special 3, inflict the opponent with 10 bleeds, each dealing X damage over X seconds. Also gain a true accuracy passive for X seconds. If Relentless is active, true accuracy becomes a true strike. And for the awakened ability, Endurance, I basically just updated his original awakened ability because the original awakened ability isn't that bad. You know, it's always nice to go and stop or go immortal whenever you get knocked out. So once per fight, if Frank would be knocked out, he gains an indestructible passive for X seconds. While indestructible, Frank passively regenerates X to 5% of his max HP. So I normally highlight the little numbers in blue that goes up with the sig level, but I forgot to do it here. But those numbers is the X to 5%. So a little updates, he gets a little bit of health back. But yeah, that's Punisher. Had a lot of fun making him. I'm actually really happy with how he turned out. A lot of bleed damage, as you can see. Really would benefit from Deep Wounds active. But yeah, he could be really OP depending on the numbers, or he could be pretty balanced depending on the numbers. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Let me know what champions you want me to create contests for in the future. But yeah, that's all for now. Goodbye.